Hi, so my name is Eric Perez. I am currently a senior of computer science department at St. Xavier University. I tutor for a couple of the computer science majors classes right now, and currently I am joined with my lovely guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Corina. I am a junior majoring in computer science and a minor in Spanish, and I am currently the president of Alpha, so if you want to join, let me know.
For sure. So, Corina, I've heard that recently you got into a really cool kind of event.
Yes, so I attended Grace Hopper 2 weeks ago, so we're in October right now. Grace Hopper is one of the biggest women in computing celebrations. So when I was there, I got to meet amazing women. Over 25,000 women were there, so it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, for sure. And the conference, I haven't heard of it before, and I'm sure a lot of people also might not have heard of it. So what can you tell us about what's the purpose of the conference?
Okay, so maybe a lot of people don't know, but women in technology, the population and the percentage of that is very, very low. So even 25,000 women in one state isn't a lot. So this convention is to kind of celebrate the women who are in computing or who are trying to get into computing or anything with tech related. So it goes from high school students to college students to professionals to teachers to anyone who is interested in learning more and celebrating women in technology.
Oh, that's really dope.
Yeah.
Look at you. So, in terms of making it to the conference, because the conference is all the way in Orlando, right?
Yes, and it's so expensive. Very, very expensive.
So how are you able to, I don't know, get the first, being invited to this place, right?
Right. So this was a goal of mine to attend Grace Hopper throughout my whole college. That was one of my biggest undergrad goals. So when the applications came out for the scholarships, I applied immediately. So if people don't know, the day the tickets go out live, they sell out in 10 minutes. So people are in line, waiting for their tickets, on the queue or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship for women in tech that are colored. So I'm a Latina in tech, so I got it because I'm a woman in color.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to get my registration sponsored by Allstate, actually. So they were my sponsor company. So it was such a good idea. So it was such a good opportunity because I was able to get interviewed by them just because they were my sponsored company that sponsored me to go to Grace Hopper.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got. Oh, and then my airfare and my hotel, I was fortunate enough to get it sponsored by the computer science department. So they know Grace Hopper is a really big deal, so they really wanted to support me and Corina Arenas, who both attended the event.
For sure. So in terms of getting that first scholarship, did you have to reach out to people, or was that brought to you, or?
Yes, so I am a Girls Who Code alumni, so that is a program that I was offered during high school.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of send out emails about when the scholarships go out. So throughout the email, I was able to see that there was this particular scholarship, so I applied to that one. But there's so many other ones. There's ones that are full, so they cover your airfare, your hotel, and the registration, and even food. So those are open to everyone. So it's usually for undergrad, sophomores, and seniors.
Oh, that's really cool. Damn.
Yeah. So if you're a girl who wants to go, let me know so we can get you the information.
We already kind of talked about it, but it was Orlando, Florida, right?
Yeah, so it was in Orlando, Florida. So it was my first time in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go to Disney with, I know it's with other girls who went to the conference. We kind of met and they're let's go tonight. And we all kind of went, so it's fun.
That's so cool. You didn't just talk and hang out about computer science. It was also getting to interact and see the people.
Yeah, so you get to meet other girls and other women in technology. So you get really good networking opportunities. So my LinkedIn, I came back with 500 new networks, so it's super, super beneficial. So yeah.
So tell me about some of the more notable people that you've met at this conference.
So I actually met her name is Diana. She works for Google. She's a project manager. She's one of the really close networks that I got to meet. So I got to sit down with her at a Latina in Tech reception, and she kind of was explaining to me how she went to U of I. So right away we clicked because we're from the Chicago area. So she actually grew up in Brighton Park, which is not that far from me. And she was also the president of Alpha at her campus. So right away we connected. But she's a project manager and she's also a recruiter. So it was awesome because she gave me the opportunity to interview for Google. So that was an awesome opportunity. So that's one of the women that I met. but also I met women from like Ecuador, from Chile, like all over the world. It wasn't just from the United States. So I kind of got to meet like what they're kind of doing and what kind of technology they use in other countries, which is very different to the ones that they use here. So that was awesome to kind of like meet, like, oh wow, like what are you guys doing? So those are the type of women that I met.
Yeah, that is crazy. I would not even have imagined that. Like, it was like international.
Yeah, it was very international. So a lot of companies also sponsor women with visas just for this weekend. So a lot of people that aren't from the United States are able to attend too.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so top 3 moments of the entire conference.
My top 3 moments, one of them was a Twitter reception. So companies, they invite you to receptions after like the actual like workshops, panels and everything. And I was able to go to a Twitter one. So obviously it's a big company to work for. So obviously like for me, I'm kind of like more like I want to stay in a small company because it's just for pressure reasons.
Okay.
So I think it was really interesting to kind of see that diversity that Twitter has. So through this, it was like the diversity and recruiting team that pulled this together, and it was amazing to see how many Latinas, how many like African American women like work there. So it was like so much fun. There was like a bunch of dancing and like they have a lot of swag. So like one of my shirts that I have wearing right now, I got it. And my other one was like a panel that was for a bunch of Latinas in tech. So I think for me, like I mentioned before, it's been really hard to kind of like find a role model. So I feel like hearing people's others experience, like knowing that I wasn't alone and like knowing that the way that I feel isn't like it's normal. So that's also another one. And then my favorite workshop was fighting imposter syndrome. So I think that this like subject is very big in the computer science and like the tech field.
For sure.
But a lot of people don't talk about it. Like, is this the right like major for me? Is it like the real career, like the right career path? So that's how I've been feeling like throughout my whole undergrad. Like, do I really belong here? Like seeing other people in my classes like do better than me or like understand material. But like through this workshop, I was able to kind of understand that I am in the right career path and I am like good enough to be here, because I feel like it has a stigma that you have to be really smart to be a computer like science major, but you know, anything is possible.
Yeah. But hard like work and perseverance put through, and like you don't need like this natural like born talent.
Right.
I'm really proud of you. And that was like the number 1, right?
Yeah, that was like my number 1, because I feel like that's something that I've been struggling with, and this conference really helped me to kind of like find a clarity.
What's funny is I've heard you talk about this subject even before, because I know that we've had like an alumni night with computer science majors where you asked the exact same question. You were like, how do I know like if I'm like in a major or not?
Yeah.
And even the other woman was like, yeah, I felt the exact same way.
Yeah, so during one of the alumni networking events, I got to meet another woman, I forgot her name, and she was telling me like that's exactly how I felt when I was like at St. Xavier. Like all these guys were so smart and I was like one of the few girls. So like I know like in my classes there's like at least 4 girls, so it's like not as bad as other schools. So I think kind of like creating the sisterhood, that's like World Grace Hopper conferences, like creating a sisterhood and kind of finding like allies that are with you and like mentors, and I think it's just like a really amazing community to be part of.
So going back to the lists, what are the top 3 things you learned at Grace Hopper conference?
The top 3 things, I feel like they're not technical, so like they're not very technical, but one thing, believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, recruiters are not going to believe in yourself. Like if they know that they're like you're nervous and stuff, they're going to be like, why should we hire you? Second, be prepared for interviews. I feel like technical interviews could be very hard, but like don't overthink it. Just make sure that like you know your algorithm. I know Dr. Meda, like she tells you like make sure you know the algorithm, make sure you know how to like solve problems like that way, because that's what like they ask you like in the tech interviews. They don't ask you how to like program, how to code. They ask you write down the algorithm, and then they'll pick one of the like little pseudocode that you choose, and that's where you're gonna have to code. And then the third thing, I feel like women are powerful. So like I feel like here, like fortunate enough, we have Dr. Meda, and I know we have Professor Powell now. I haven't got the opportunity to meet her, but like there's women out there for like, to me, like like follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter. Like when you need some inspiration, you can always find some there.
And when you say technical interviews, you mean like this is like coding like in the interview process, right?
Right. So I didn't know that this existed. So a lot of people don't know. So when you're gonna apply for like a software engineer like internship or like full-time position, you're gonna have a technical interview, which is gonna ask you a simple question like create a class for like X, Y, and Z, and then you're gonna have to tell them how would I create this class. And the way you're gonna tell them is through an algorithm. So like obviously you're not gonna have enough time to program a whole like class. They're gonna ask you program the algorithm, and you're gonna have a whiteboard, and you just have to write it with an expo marker. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so fun. So and you just have to kind of talk to them through the process. Like this is the way that you think, and like just remember everyone makes mistakes. So. Yeah.
And so like, would you recommend like, I don't know, having like a resume like folder and like a wallet for like cards and stuff?
Yes. So for me, since I'm the president of Alpha, Alpha is like a professional development group for Latino students in campus, for computer science and business related majors. That's what we kind of focus on. So I was prepared with my resume and with my business cards. I made sure that I had enough resumes. I printed out 50 resumes and I gave every single one. So they have a huge career fair, like every company you could think about, like Reddit, like Handshake was there, so we use Handshake.
Yeah, even for the school's employment.
School, like Khan Academy was there, like everyone, obviously if they're running business they need tech people. So it was a huge career fair, and I was just going around like, here's my resume, hire me. So yeah.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
And I guess another part of that then is like to not be afraid to like go up to people.
Right. So recruiters are normal people, so like make sure you treat them like normal people. Don't like always tell them like, hey, please, like, no, like be normal, have a conversation with them. Obviously always be professional, but they're normal people. So
yeah, there's no need to like feel, because if you're in a conference where everybody else is also like handing out like applications, you're not like the weirdo who's handing an application.
Right.
You're
exactly.
part of like the whole group.
Yeah.
So it's just like a matter of like maintaining the energy.
Yeah.
You go to this conference, you network with all these people, you apply for all these things. Did you walk away with anything?
Yes, so I'm so excited about this. So I walked away with opportunity as a software engineer intern at Target. So yeah, Target, the store, my favorite store. So I'm gonna get a discount. So yeah, but I'm gonna be able next summer, so 2020, I'm gonna be living in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh my gosh.
They're gonna be paying for my housing and like for my travel. So when I go and move over there, and I'm gonna be a software engineer there. So that's the title of the internship. But obviously, like if I'm into web development or into like UX design, I'll be able to like learn from that too. So there's a bunch of opportunities out there. So yes, I'm so excited. I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to go to Grace Hopper. So actually, I attended a conference before this, so it's like a different thing. But I think throughout the conversations that I was having, recruiters are really like, they just want to know who you are. So if you're true to other people and true to yourself, that's how you get a job. Because I feel like throughout these conferences, they're there to hire you, and they're there for the support. And obviously, all these companies need more women in tech. So if you're a woman in tech, you know, you have a bigger chance to get a job easier. No offense to the guys, but I mean, like, the percentage is very low. So yeah.
Well, Corina, it was amazing having you here today.
Thank you so much, Eric.
No, thank you so much. See ya.
Bye.